Hey guys, how are we doing? Welcome back to my channel. I'm actually so excited for this video. As you can tell from the title, this is gonna be very interesting. Very interesting. I'm just thinking about wow. It's gonna be very interesting. And yeah, like I mentioned in my why I quit my corporate job, in case you haven't watched that, I'm gonna link it below. In that I mentioned I'm gonna share all the good, the bad, the ups, the ugly, the bits that you don't see online that doesn't make it to like Instagram. I'm gonna share all of it to actually provide a realistic overview into this journey, my personal journey, right? This journey looks different for everyone, but I will share what I'm learning, what I'm doing, right? And one of the biggest things that actually happened to me was in January, I became a barista for 3 weeks, and then it was cut short after 3 weeks. I didn't even pass my probation. It's so funny because it's like the first job that like I've ever been like fired from. Wow, like it was actually the first one. I was fired from, and it was just like I was a bit shocked. Like I thought I was great. Like I was so good with customers loved me. Like we would have like the best conversations. But then like some of the reasons I do understand, and it just showed me it's just showing me like, like I can't keep on doing this, like, it just showed me why I need to like just focus fully on like business like 101, like because some of the things were like, nail color. And I know I don't want to be like ignorant, because I know like, when you're working retail, sometimes they ask you like you need to abide by dress code. But I was thinking, sorry, no one's gonna tell me what like colors my nails can be, like no. I'm not gonna do that. But I'm gonna go into depth on this, why, how it came about, and like everything in between. So yeah, I decided to become a barista. Why? So before you quit your corporate job, normally people tend to build up a runway. Essentially what a runway is, it's a pot of capital that will allow you to sustain yourself for a certain period of time. For some people it's 2 years, some it's 1, some it's 6 months. So I had built up a runway for 6 months, I think in particular, and that would allow me to like, be cool, right? But there was other expenses that I wanted to take on and incur, that I just did not want to come out from my runway, all my savings or any investments that I had been making. So I decided that like, if I wanted to make this, I would have to increase like, my income in some sort. So I thought, okay, cool, I will get a part-time job. However, I didn't want to get a job close to anything I had previously done in the corporate world, or anything that would make me comfortable or keep me relaxed. I wanted something, especially because I was in control of myself. I had no boss like telling me you need to do this or you need to meet this target. So I had to keep myself driven, right? So I wanted something that would keep me motivated, keep me hungry, keep me inspired, keep that hustle going. And this job definitely it definitely did that. It definitely, because man, when I say my ego was checked, I was humbled, I learned so much. Like I think it was so interesting because when I was a barista, I was on the other side of the till, right? And I was able to just like, you have difficult customers, you have great customers, you have difficult situations, but I met like some of the most incredible people. I learned so much, and like about for the company I'm building, how I want people to be treated, because you're on the other side, right? I had to keep myself humble, because sometimes it's like, when you're being asked to do certain tasks like white tables, clean toilets, I'll be like, do you know what uni I went to? Do you actually know? Like, I got to 2-1. I went to York University. But yeah, that keeps you humble, that keeps you in check. And like, I wouldn't advise this for everyone, because it can be a lot. But for me, I am just so glad I did it. Like the way that I work now is so different. The way that I see the world now is so different. And I'm just so grateful. And that actually came from when I was reading A Guide to Wealth and Happiness by Naval. And he spoke about in that book, this is the reason why essentially, he spoke about in that book, right? If you like, before anybody tells you your salary level or like how much you're worth, you need to decide and know that for yourself. It may not be what you are currently on, but that is an expectation of something you want to reach. So once you've identified that for yourself, if it's possible and if you can, if there's any task that you're currently doing that actually, hang on a minute, this is less than what I'm worth, my hourly wage, great, then I'm going to outsource this, I'm going to give this to someone else. But in order to outsource, when I mean outsource, I wanted just to get a virtual assistant to help a lot with like admin. In order to do that, I would need capital, right? So that's why I decided, let me go and get a job that would just help me and give me that cash inflow. Yeah. And it was very interesting. It was hard. I learned loads, and also that's probably the reason why now like I'm addicted to lattes, because before I never used to drink any coffee at all. Like I didn't. But when I started working at Starbucks, right, I had to make a good latte, a good cappuccino, a good frappuccino. No, wow, what's that? A good espresso, caramel macchiato. Like you name it, I can make it. Like my cream, everything, so good. And like that's why like now I'm probably just like addicted to like lattes. But yeah, anyway, that's it. So guys, I am back again with another weekly update. It's actually like Monday nighttime, and this week has been quite hard. Like I think I've recorded this, it's vlog, and I'm just gonna be super quick and put everything together. I think this week I've just made so many quick decisions and loads of mistakes, which have been hard, you know, and things are just like moving really hard. Like my tech, like my laptop, my phone is just always stressing me out with like storage, and I know that I need to like now like, you know, invest in, because there's so much friction with like, you know, recording and like doing things at the standard and the pace that I want to do. I've got a part-time job which I was super excited to share, and then I realized that like the hours I was working are not going to be super suitable for what I want to do. But I'm learning, I'm making mistakes, I am growing. If you know you're like me and essentially you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to take this gamble yourself, make sure you don't get a part-time job which basically reflects and has the same hours as your 9 to 5, your Monday to Friday. You know, try to keep that as, especially, well, if you have like a lot of client relationships you're trying to build, just try to keep that as free as possible. So I'm trying to really find like a morning shift or a night shift, so I can keep my, you know, weekdays free. But hey, I'm making mistakes, learning and keeping things going in on the so today's like just quite a low day. Loads of things have happened this week, but I'm learning, I'm taking them with risk, really focusing on my goals, and I'm just like proud of myself, even though this is hard. Just check. Even though this is hard, so this week is a lot of learning, a lot of mistakes. It's hard. This life is really different. Cool. I don't know why I'm out of breath. I just don't want this, because my tech is just so stressful. I don't want my camera to like stop halfway through. But essentially learning, making mistakes, but I wouldn't have any other way. I say that, but it's hard. Guys, I'm gonna keep this short because I'm even late. This is the real side of being an entrepreneur that people do not show. I am exhausted, I'm tired. It's like 6:20. I'm so close. It's like 6:20 right now, and I start my shift at Starbucks in like 5 minutes. And yeah, it's a lot. I went to sleep super late yesterday. I went to sleep at 1 because I had my my entrepreneurship program for women, but it's based for women in the States. The times are like US times, which means like super late, like 5 hours later for us. So yeah, I went to sleep super late. I'm tired. Like yesterday was like my first morning shift, and this is a lot. Like being an entrepreneur, like not even taking the risk on yourself is a lot. Like it's frustrating, but I just know this is like part of the journey, that I can do like 10 hours, 12 hours here a week. It's super close to my house, so it's a lot. I'm tired. I have to go make coffees, which but this is the truth. And yeah, anyway, I'm late, so I'm gonna need to go, and it's like, bye guys, I'm tired. But yeah, second days are going okay. I think I'm good. I can make a good latte, but it's a lot. So guys, this brings me to the end of this video. I hope you've enjoyed it, but there are a few things that I really want to talk about, because, you know, I touched on it during the video, but like I didn't go in depth, and I think it will provide some extra clarity and some extra help, and just some things that I really wish I thought about before I made any decisions with like getting a part-time job, or just like financial help and advice that I would recommend as well. So the number one thing is that in one of the clips I was talking a lot about like I got a part-time job now, and I was so excited for it, and I just realized that my hours were just not right, and like not what was in line with actually what I needed. And I think this is very important because I was just such in a rush in January, you know, to really just get something part-time so I could support myself with the virtual assistant I wanted, that I didn't take the time to actually think through and say, okay, what implication would getting a part-time job cause me with what I'm building out? Because the whole point of actually like, you know, wanting to leave my job, wanting to leave my corporate job, is that so it would free up time to really focus on building what I wanted to build, my recruitment agency, right? Oh, I had a part-time job with like some shifts which were like during the day, and I was like, no, like this is not correct. I either need early morning shifts or like late night shifts so that I could have the majority of my time really focused on, you know, speaking to clients or like, you know, just freeing up time for my business. And I think this is something that I would, looking back, I would definitely 100% really think through, like before you rush for any part-time job, right? Really think, right, would this conflict with like what I'm trying to build up during, you know, the hours that I need or the hours that like my customers, clients are available? So that's number one. So yeah, and the second thing, I really want to talk about a bit about your finances. And this is so important. Like if you want to make this decision of like quitting your 9-to-5 job, right? My channel, I just want to stress that like it's my personal experience, right? You have to make this decision by yourself and be fully okay with it. You know, I'm flattered that, you know, some people will be inspired by my journey, but you need to make that self-analysis for yourself to make sure that you are comfortable and you're ready. Because you may be in a similar situation like myself. You know, what happens maybe later down the line if your like runway, like, you know, comes to an end. That's why I would suggest like really make a plan and think through of like how you're going to support yourself financially. If this is something you want to do, ask yourself as well, like, is now the right time for you to make this decision? It may be 100% you are ready and you know what you're getting yourself into, but then also you need to think like financially you're not going to no more have like, you know, the benefits that you're afforded at work, whether it's like private healthcare or like, you know, dentistry or therapy as well, like pension or just income support. You don't have a salary, and these are things you really need to think through financially before you make any decision. So yeah, that was a bit of my journey, an experience that I had faced that taught me so much, and it's the real life of being an entrepreneur. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and until next time, see ya.